What's up, tea family? I'm here with an update. Drinking my little refresh tea because it is legit 100 degrees today in LA. So I have done 2 events so far, and I'm going to launch the website today. I was supposed to launch it last week, but I had a couple glitches. I was supposed to launch it the week before that, but I had a couple glitches. So here's the thing with hosting your own website. I have to pay somebody to host it and like manage it and all that, right? But at the same time, I can't hit up this person for every single thing I need. I have to learn things on my own. But sometimes when you learn things on your own, like there's some errors in the learning process and you end up messing up your own website. So long story short, I'm very excited it's gonna go live. But about these events, I've done 2 events. I did a business expo and a health fair, and they were both really great. Like I learned a lot. Here is the bottom line. People don't care about the little things like you care. I got this hair sticking up. Like you care about the little things. Like you want it to look a certain way and be perfect and have your labels all right. And that's really good. You want to be professional. You want to be prepared. You want your stuff to look nice, and you want to have like a good prepared energy to present your product to the world. However, they don't care that much. Like if you're cool and you guys click and they like tea and you've got something cool and interesting and it's not $10 million, they're probably going to buy it, especially if there's a taste test involved. So we do these tastings and everybody buys the one that is like a golden milk, right? And yes, it does taste good. It's really good for you. It's a great product. But we do it with like a cold honey almond milk, like a vanilla almond milk. And so it tastes like this delicious, refreshing kind of like horchata, like this vanilla latte. And it's because of the way that we make it. And so I tell them, okay, this is how we made it. Go home and make it like this. Because if you just add this to hot water, it's not going to taste like this. So that the rest of them, it's just water and tea and everybody loves it. It tastes great. Sometimes we add some honey. But at the end of the day, whatever you have available for them to taste, they're going to buy. Whatever you push, they're going to buy. And so people are just open and I love them. Like they're so nice. And I have learned so much from just talking to people. So every time I find myself wanting to just be like, wait, it's not perfect. I still have to do this, that, and the other. I realize no one really cares. So it's not going to be perfect in the beginning. And like, let's just learn as we go, not wait until it's perfect and then go. And then you still learn as you go. And now you're just way more behind. I heard this quote that like, basically people who are really successful have already like done it and failed 3 times. And now they're on to like their 4th successful venture by the time you decide to start. And now you have to learn all the mistakes that they made in those 3 failures, which is really just like business school, learning what works. So I'm really trying to adopt that. And it is an interesting like internal dialogue, because the part of me that just like has identified with really wanting to take integrity in the presentation and the thoughtfulness of something that I've created, like how Fernando says, you know, the artist in me, which I guess is true. You know, I got to listen to him. And when I listen to him, things just run more smoothly. Shout out Fernando and his good advice, because he is that guy, right? He did it 3 times and failed, even though he didn't fail, but you know, had like all the roadblocks and now has figured it all out. And that is why people have mentors. So I'm super thankful. And I also just want to say that I'm really grateful that like we're still locked in and like we still have a positive relationship, and that we navigated that bump in the road about the finances that I talked about last time, because I feel like I learned a lot from that. He recommended that I read this book, Don't Split the Difference. To be honest, I didn't read the full thing, but I did chat GPT it and listen to some of it on YouTube and like, you know, get the gist of it. And essentially, I'm probably missing some parts, but it's like, listen, be empathetic, repeat what the other person says, you know, like basic communication we all talk about in therapy and stuff. Get the other person to agree so they realize you're on the same page, and then identify like the core problem that's like under the emotional, you know, thing, and try to just address that, which is totally common sense, right? And so I think that the main takeaway for me is next time I feel any type of way, I need to remember react to nothing, find common ground, and solve problems completely logistically for everything in life. I'm not even talking about just business. And like, interestingly, I feel like I do a really good job at that compared to most, but we are all still growing and learning. And that situation was a perfect example of where I had to have my own growth. So shout out Fernando. And also I'm gonna do a farmer's market in a week and a half. And I sent my first order and it's really exciting. And thank you to friends and family who have been so cool and supportive, because you guys are awesome. And now comes time to try to like spread the business to people who you don't personally know. So I'll catch you next week.